All right, and welcome to another edition of our Race Talk Live. Heck, Dave, I forgot what you were calling this thing. Race Talk Live Online. That's what it is. Race Talk Live Online. I had to think for a minute. Yes, sir. Go ahead. We don't care. What's up? Go ahead. Yeah,
we're on.
We're on. We're on. Bobby's got notes. I love it when you bring notes. What do you got for notes?
Yeah, we got, we had the big guys all went down to Duel in the Desert down at Las Vegas dirt track.
Yeah.
Motor Speedway. Like
Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but on dirt.
Dirt track. There we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, that all took place Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, and had 200-plus modifieds and 100 and some sport mods, I believe. We watched it on XN or RaceFeed X TV, and they did an awesome job, by the way. It was kind of late a couple nights, though.
Yeah.
I think Friday night they got started in like an hour late, so it was like 2 o'clock in the morning before we got done. But, no, it was good racing. The track was not very good.
No.
Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that, yeah.
Yeah, the track was...
And I heard they brought in some equipment the next day and worked it, but I still wasn't very good. And the problem with that track is they don't run enough dirt stuff on it.
No, I think they only race like 4 times a year there.
Yeah.
And being out in the middle of the desert, I mean, all they got's rocks and sand. I mean,
yeah.
What do you expect?
It's not like it's clay, not like from around here, that's for sure.
But, the facility that they have there is so nice that you would think they could haul in some dirt, from a ways away.
Kansas?
And
are you thinking Kansas?
Okay, Iowa. Iowa's got good dirt. But no, I mean, they had a terrible time, and I know it cost a couple guys their cars. I mean, they had Corey Sample.
Oh wow,
That
was wicked, wasn't it?
And I don't know if that was because of the track or not, because it was just a weird. It was
after the race.
It was at the checkered flag, and the car just turned right and hit the wall.
Looked like he hooked a rut.
I don't know what happened, but only he knows. But yeah, it destroyed that car. And I'm not sure the number 0 car. I'm not sure his name, but yeah, he got upside down and flipped 3 or 4 times, and that was because of the rut.
Yeah,
or the hole. But yeah, I mean,
and of course, Brandon Blocklinger went up there too. He didn't fare so well. Was it? You be honest. Be honest. Was that a racing deal?
Yeah.
Was it the track or was it good hard racing?
I think it was both. I mean, I know guys going in the corner side by side. And they catch the holes there. I mean, you're going to lose control for a split second there. And, I mean, they didn't hit very hard, just enough to break Blocklinger's left front. And it cost him they were going for the win there. That was too bad. I know Kenny didn't mean to do that on purpose because I'd never seen Schrader drive like that. I mean, I know he felt bad about it, but
sure.
I mean, stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
But no, the way things turned out in the sport mods, in 5th place was Rick Diaz, Chris McKellar. Nick, I wrote these, by the way, and I can't even read my own writing.
Yeah, that's great.
Nick Spanauer. I can read this one. The Money Man.
The Money Man. Yeah, there you go.
Clay Money picked up a 2nd, and the Fry Man, Mr. Tyler Fry, picked up the win there. Took home I think it was $1,700, $1,777 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a way to wrap up the year for Tyler. I mean, he had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Picking up the national
championship
and then sport mod,
and then going out to Vegas and running good like he did.
Yeah, it was great for Tyler. In the modifieds, Dylan Smith was in 5th. Ryan Reuter, R.C. Whitwell, Scott Drake. And the 19-year-old Lucas Schott picked up the win there. His first ever Duel in the Desert win. So, great run for them guys.
Bit chilly out there this year.
It looked chilly.
Chilly.
It's crazy because I went out there, I think, 4 years ago or so. And, man, it started getting cold. So, I put on a sweatshirt. And I put on another sweatshirt. And I put on a big old coat. And I had gloves on. And I went and looked to see what the temperature was, and somebody told me it was 60 degrees. There ain't no It was 60 degrees out, and it was cold. Yeah, just the dryness.
The dryness and the elevation, maybe.
Oh, yeah. It's just crazy weather out there.
Yep.
Nice
it was definitely
a
chilly one this year.
It looked like it was chilly and windy, and yeah.
And you've put together a good program tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, the guys finally got the win. You know, we'll talk to them some more. Yeah, this is going to be a good deal.
Yeah.
Of course, you brought Justin Montgomery and Chad Markley, and you know they won the Blizzard Bash. I'm going to struggle with this all night long. Blizzard Bash.
Yeah, I bring you another beer, right?
Yeah. I haven't had any. I will, though. All right, what else you got?
In the Sprint Cup, in the Camping World Trucks.
Oh, yeah, talk about Karma. We'll talk about Karma when we get to the big race.
Oh,
but go
boy.
ahead.
Okay, in fifth, the Camping World Trucks. In fifth place was Tyler Reddick, Daniel Suarez, John West Townley, John Hunter Nemechek, Timothy Peters took home the win. And the points rounded out going into the last weekend. Eric Jones is in the lead. Tyler Reddick's 19 back, so he's still got a shot. Matt Crafton's 32. That's not probably going to happen. Johnny Sauter, 89, and Timothy Peters.
Yeah, those two they're way too far back.
Yep.
But Enrico Abreu come home 19th.
You know, I forgot to check on that. 19th?
19th.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I was gone on the weekend and didn't get to watch it. So
yeah, you were in Topeka.
Yeah, good run for Rico. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. You know, and he's looking at this as an opportunity. You know, he wants to get into NASCAR. The kid's fearless.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything he's driven is, yeah.
You know, it's just he's got some sort of a touch, doesn't he?
He does. He does good.
And I don't know how they set the car up, but, you know, for him being so short.
Yeah.
But, wow, he's not afraid to drive it. That's for sure.
I wonder if maybe he's got an advantage there having his seat higher.
You think so?
Maybe the center of gravity's higher.
You think he has more weight up higher than the rest of the guys, even though he's shorter?
Yeah, maybe that's an advantage. I don't know. But anyway, in the Xfinity Series, Ty Dillon in fifth, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. I think I read or heard today that was his 76th win in the Xfinity Series. Used to be Busch Series.
Yeah.
76 wins in that series. And the points come out. Elliott Sadler's in fifth, 113 back. Reagan Smith, 24. This is going to get interesting. Ty Dillon, 22. Chase Elliott, 18. And Chris Buescher is in the lead. And I think I heard his magic number is 13th.
13th or better?
13th or better to wrap up the deal. So going into the last weekend, it's going to be exciting.
Let's do the results for the Sprint Cup race, and then we'll talk about Karma, and then we'll talk about who's in the championship duel.
Okay. I'm in fifth place with Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. picked up their rain-shortened
What a day.
race.
Wasn't that a nightmare? You know, I got to thinking about that, and I was like, they can run this longer. They can dry this out and run it longer. But, you know, some of those people got there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I know. That was a long day for
you know? Yeah. And then even though they waited 6 hours to get the race in, the crew, and I'm not talking about the race car crews. I'm talking about the policemen that were there, the security people, you know, and I don't know what time it ended up out in Phoenix that it finally ended, but it was a long time.
It would have been late. We were coming home from Topeka, and I'd heard that it hadn't even started yet. And I go, hey, cool, I can get home because my DVR wasn't going to tape it because I'd already set that for earlier. And
yeah, you got all the pre-stuff.
So yeah, I was going to. Yeah, I wasn't going to see none of it.
And you got the race from the week before on because I saw part of that.
It was?
Yeah, that's what it was.
I didn't even look.
And then they had to switch over to CBS and Sports or whatever.
Yeah.
So what happens in the first few laps of this race?
On the start?
Yeah.
When Kurt Busch jumped the start. And you know what's crazy? They went back and showed two other races. One was at Bristol, one was at Phoenix, and one was someplace else, that the leader didn't cross
come up to speed, yeah.
finish line first, and they didn't penalize nobody.
I think if the green flag comes out, you got to start going. Yeah. I mean, I don't like this start box thing. I don't like it.
But it's
that
like
was drop the green flag and let's go.
That's what they were talking about, though. Is it's different from this actual start of the race and the finish of the race. You race to the start-finish line. On restarts, it's the start zone, and that they go by.
Okay.
And so, I mean, on a restart.
And it wasn't but 6 inches.
I know. Yeah, I think it got. I don't.
I think it's the name above the door.
It could be.
I think it's the name above the door.
Was it Jimmy Johnson and Kurt Busch, right?
Yeah.
We're on the front row. Yeah. So I don't know. They penalized him, and that kind of hurt Kurt's day because he was.
And then he was climbing back up through the field.
He was coming back up.
Where was he at? 6th, 7th spot?
Yeah, he was up there. Yeah.
At the end, just not enough to get into the show.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So who goes on for the championship?
Oh, okay. We got Martin Truex moved on. Kurt Busch moves on. Gordon and Harvick.
Mm-hmm. Logano's not in that picture anywhere.
Why?
He's not.
Neither is Keselowski.
I know.
But no, Carl Edwards ended up 5th. I think he was 5 points out is all.
He was disappointed. Everybody that watched the race saw that interview. He was waiting for him to go back to green. He was he needed to race. He one more spot.
Yep. And, I kind of feel, I know exactly how they feel in a smaller version. Our last night out here at Salina Speedway, we ran our heat races, and, of course, we had a chance to win the points along with Corey LeBrun.
Don't talk to me about that night.
And the stuff, the rain came and got washed out. So, I know how they feel.
On that night, it was redraw for us, and I drew it too.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you do?
It stinks.
It sucks.
I'd rather race it than not.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I wasn't going to advance anywhere in the points, but I still wanted to race it.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys would have had a good battle.
I think so. I mean, I think we could have done some good.
So what do you think? You got 4 drivers to pick from. Who do you think's going to take it home next week?
Oh, I'm going to stick with my man Harvick.
Do you think they're awarding? Do you think this system works like you're giving the guy that does the best in the final race the points championship, or do you really think it narrows the field down like a true chase should?
Well, I think you got 4 different stories here. You got Kevin Harvick, which is the reigning champ,
right,
coming back to do it again. You got Jeff Gordon, who's retiring. He would definitely like to win.
Go out with a win,
season.
Sure. Yeah.
You got Kyle Busch, who missed how many shows?
There's
at the
a story there. Come back from the beginning, from that deal,
and came back and earned enough points to even get in the chase. And then you got a one-car team out of Colorado that's in there. I mean, I don't think you could have 4 better stories there to talk about. I mean, Martin Truex, he's kind of like
he's the dark horse in the whole deal.
Kind of like Ryan Newman was last year. I mean, Newman got in on points. He never did win any races, but he was just there consistently every week and got it done. Just like, I mean, Martin has got a couple wins and got in the chase with a win. So, he deserves to be there just like all the others.
And I'm going to back up to the race for just a minute. Earnhardt wins. I don't understand that whole system. I tried to make heads or tails of it. He leaves the pits just as the caution flag's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And he passes and gets into the lead. Now, how in the world does that happen when you're on pit road?
Yeah.
Explain that to where I can understand that, because I don't.
They were kind of explaining it, or trying to, and I kind of halfway understood it about the start-finish line goes all the way through the pit area, all the way through pit row.
And if you get there first.
And if you cross that, that's actually.
No matter whether you're on the track or in the pits, if you cross there first, that puts you in the lead.
I think that's how they explained it. Yeah, when the caution comes out.
Okay, and that makes sense to you?
Well, I don't think you should be issued. I don't think you should be given the lead when you're sitting in the pits.
Yeah, how does that happen? Somebody's got to explain that better.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm happy he got the win, but I'm trying to figure out How does that work?
You know,
how do you be scored? How are you scored when you're in the pits?
And it all comes back to short track racing too, just like what happened at Salina Speedway this year. That was a crazy deal.
Okay.
You want me to bring this one up?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, I'm going to talk about this.
We got time.
We had early in the season the rain shortened a feature.
Okay.
They called the race. There was a car that got a flat tire that was on pit row when the red flag came out. They gave him second place.
Who was that?
I'm not going to mention no names.
Okay.
So should he have gotten second place points? Setting off.
Well, it works at NASCAR, so I guess it works here. But I
guess so.
I don't understand that. I don't want to start World War III by any means, but
I know.
It doesn't. I would think that you would have to be on the track to be scored.
That's what I thought, but it didn't work out. I mean, that's not the way it came down. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
But
so,
I thought when they gave Junior the lead, I was like, ooh, somebody's going to be irritated over this deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I can't figure out how this works. That's just as bad. I don't think a car that's in the pits is scored on the track.
Yeah. Neither did we, but that's how it all goes.
It's the brakes of racing. That's why we do it, right?
That's exactly right. Sometimes
because you're going to see something like you've never seen before.
Sometimes it's in your favor, and sometimes it's against. Yeah, just
one of these days it's going to work to my favor. I don't know when, but it will. Oh, God. Okay. You should have been out to the shop last night. It was hilarious. But we'll talk about that after the program.
Let's go demoing.
You want to do some demoing?
Demoing.
Demoing.
Let's see if the guys
see if you can get them over here.
Let's see if we can get them over here.
I think they've had a couple of. Go ahead, go get them. I'll hold on to this. Go. Yeah, that works. Time to come on over, boys. We're going to bring over the Blizzard Bash winners. There, I got it. I got it. See if I can keep spitting it out. We'll be all right. Yeah, come on. Chad Markley's joining us. Justin Montgomery. Oh, look at him. He's bringing his liquid. He needs to. We're a little cozy. Collision course.
That's when Shane took him out.
Shane who? Meeks. Took somebody out?
Yeah, it took my dad out that year in the Derby. So you can help him.
Yeah. Turn them on. Flip it up. There you go. Hi, Chad.
Hello, Bill.
How are you?
Good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. Tell us about that, Justin.
One year Shane Meeks was kind of a bad fella and took my dad out. And that's when I sat on the roof and tried to make it feel back in the spirit.
Did it help?
I don't know. I don't think he's derbied ever again.
Yeah, flip them up to turn them on. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You have to tell them because they didn't hear you. All they saw was your lips moving.
Oh, my dad wanted me to share this article of when Shane Meeks took him out of the derby world. He never derbied again. And
who never derbied? Shane?
My dad.
Why?
He was devastated that Shane Meeks took him out.
That bad?
Yeah.
That's when Chicken's eyes got open. He switched sides.
Really?
Yeah. Come aboard Kansas.
Really?
Yeah, no, not really. But
so things went your way this weekend, guys, right? How'd it work?
Pretty good, apparently. I got the big check to prove it.
You got the big check?
Well, both of us do.
Really? So you got to split that big check? How's that work?
4 ways.
4 ways? Sweet. Uh-oh. He's got a question.
You know, to start with, about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks prior to this whole thing, Wednesday nights I bowl, and I'd stop by Chicken's garage and kind of check on his car to see how things were coming, and they were making a little progress, starting to look like a car. But then one weekend I stopped by Chad's shop. This was like a week before the Blizzard Bash was supposed to be. Chad wasn't there, but his car didn't look nothing like a car. I mean, he flat threw things together, and I don't know. Obviously, things worked out. And Justin, take us through. Starting on Thursday night and Friday night, you went through the qualifying, and your car kind of took a beating, huh?
Yeah, Chad had a whole theory of drive happy. He was driving a little too happy, and well, Jimmy's car, our teammate, he had just bad luck all weekend until the feature, and starting with was driving it to inspection line, and the rear end locked up in it, and so just typical. It seems like in the years past we can never get 4 teammates in, and so anyways, I get my car in, then Chad gets his in, and then Jimmy and Nick show up, and then we hear that Jimmy locks his rear end up going into inspection. I'm like, oh great. So he didn't get it into the inspection line. He's got all these parts coming to get it fixed and everything. So then Nick gets his car in. Well, then Jimmy actually gets the rear end fixed and gets going, and Chad, I think, drives it to the inspection line because Jimmy's got a pretty hot head.
It was time for me to take over because it was going to be a lot easier for me to take that car through inspection than Jimmy.
Yeah. But so Chad gets it through inspection, and they tell us what we need to do to get it in, to the show, and starts driving it back, and it just dies, end up getting it pushed back in, or I don't know if you got it running or what, but so we thought we had it all fixed up, thought it was out of gas. So then we go out for the first heat, and right off the bat you see Jimmy sitting there, and I'm like, oh great. Well, and the team we're going against is a real salty team from Nebraska, and so my whole theory is I got to keep moving because they're going to pin us down, because all they'd have to do is pin us all, and then one car makes a hit on their team, make the last hit, they'll win. So I probably overdrove my car, like almost like racing. Like I probably drove it too hard because I didn't want to get pinned, so I just kept moving. And then I see Chad over there driving happy, But so yeah, I used mine all up in the heats.
I got to ask Chad about championship night. We're sitting up there, and Chad, tell us a little bit about is it kind of like a driver's, I guess, code or something on door hits? You got hit in the door really, really hard, and that guy probably made a mistake, didn't he?
Apparently he did, yeah.
That guy's got a long history.
We can go back about 8 years. A team derby 8 years ago, we dominated, me and Shane and 2 fellows out of Amos Brothers out of Kansas City. Well, that guy was apparently best friends with the promoter, and after the derby was over, we had it hands down. They took the win away from us, DQ'd us for a thing.
For what?
He okayed it in the inspection line, and the dipstick tube on the tranny came up and smashed against a bar and had a rub mark in it, and that's what he was DQing us for.
Okay.
So, and after that, the gentleman that hit me in the driver's door on Sunday was nose to nose with me and told me he relies on his driving to win, not cheating. So I never have forgot that. And once he started, it wasn't a matter of winning. He wasn't going to win.
It was nice of you to wave to him and tell him goodbye.
Yeah. I was having a little too much fun all weekend. Apparently, I've got a few other people mad about that too.
No, the crowd was loving it. I know I was.
Okay, so this guy hits you. So this guy hits you in the driver's door, right? Kind of a not so good thing, right? Kind of something you really don't do in this.
Well,
explain that to the people that don't understand.
The driver's door is forbidden territory. I mean, around here, county fairs, we don't reinforce the way we do there. I mean, up there at Blizzard, the national championship, everybody is a quality driver, and they use the driver's door for protection. So Up there, we're allowed to plate it with quarter-inch steel and stuff. So
sure,
it's not near as big as a deal, but it's still a respect issue. And
so he clubs you in the driver's door.
Yeah, I got him square in the driver's door, which it didn't do his car any favor, and it didn't bother me far as that part of it, but it just gave me the green light.
Sure. So how did you take care of business?
I got him to the bank, and then backed. I waited for the crowd to clear, and I finished him off with about probably 10 or so good shots. And
really,
he was asking for the red flag to get out of the car.
Oh, was he really? You made him cry.
Well, I'm hoping so. I don't know that for a fact.
That's what you do.
When you mess with the bull, you get the horn.
That's right.
Guys,
for the people that haven't been to the I'm talking.
Yeah, I see now. You're gonna get all tongue tied.
Guys people that haven't been to the Blizzard Bash ever. Kind of tell us the difference between the cars that you guys build for that compared to like the county fairs and stuff.
Well, I guess first off, we better probably back up and realize, because I kind of, on the way over here with my nephew Casey, helps me build a lot, was just talking like, can you believe we finally got one to go our way? And I said, like, well, they're calling it like the national championship, team derby. And he's like, well, it is. That's what they've been calling it for a couple of years. And I'm like, well, I guess so. I mean, it's the best of the best. And there's
you guys.
We had 27 states represented and 2 provinces of Canada represented at Blizzard Bash this year.
So this is really a big thing.
This, compared to Boone, Iowa.
Yeah, this is the Super Nationals of Derbian.
Okay.
It's 3 notches.
It's held right here in Topeka, right in Topeka, right in the great state of Kansas in Topeka.
I was actually thinking about this all day. Like, this 2 racers would be winning the Super Nationals
twice,
pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
so how do
Bobby
you guys,
was there.
How do you win as a team, I guess?
Well, I let Chicken go out there and get the hell crap beat out of him, and I take care of the rest.
Pretty much, yeah. No, the easy way to the features win the 2 heats. So if that B feature was nasty, I mean, there's some of the top drivers in the world in that B feature, and so we're glad that we weren't in that. But like I said, I had to use up my car in the heats to get us to the feature, and then they could do the rest of the work. I mean, it does suck not being in that feature out there with them, but it was a lot easier doing it that way than losing a heat.
So could you have, if things would have worked out differently for you and you didn't use your car up, how many of you could have been in the feature?
And I mean, if Jimmy's car would have ran, I think we could have handled the heats a lot easier, and then we could all made it to the feature. And nothing against Jimmy, it's just he had bad luck.
The thing the people that don't follow Derby, the thing you don't know about Team Kansas is we're notorious for bringing 3 cars to a 4-man team show and competing and almost winning it every time with 3, not 4.
That was going to be my next question, Chad. You guys have been kind of used to going in with 3 cars. I was going to ask you if your strategy changed any, but obviously it didn't, because in the last couple of years you've been kind of used to that.
Yeah, we just go out and drive happy.
Drive happy.
Well, he does. I have to drive mad because everyone's on me.
So, okay, so have you guys figured out what happened to Jimmy's car yet?
Yeah.
What was it?
Lots of problems. Well, we want to go from Wednesday on?
Sure, why not?
Wednesday morning, his rear end locks up. The bearings go out of the pinion.
How does that happen?
Lack of knowledge.
I don't want to pick
Thursday, we think we get it fixed. The problem we had in inspection, it ran out of fuel. They changed the fuel system, the whole pumps, filters, lines, everything. Driving around, a couple guys that help us drove it around in the pits, never missed a beat. So we think we're in good shape for Thursday night for the first round. He goes out there, hits a bump, it dies. It's done. The fuel, we filled it with fuel, thought that the problem was solved. Well, he went out there. Then Thursday after the heat, we fixed all the fuel problems. Friday we come out thinking we got it fixed. and he gets in there in the arena, and it's pretty rough because it's been rutted up.
He dies going into the arena. Nick had to push him out there.
Dies
and
going into the arena. So it bounced, and it's had an electrical problem at that time. So at that point in time, in the Derby world, there's guys that have done so much with so little they can almost do anything with nothing, and then there's guys like Jimmy that they're good, but they buy their stuff. No, same in the racing world. They buy their parts and everything. Finally, after 2 rounds of him dying, we'd had enough. I'd had enough, and Chicken was like, "You get over there, you figure that out, or help or whatever." And I'm like, I got it taken care of. His boys were welding on my car, and I was over there, and we got things figured out for him. So, but we got the mechanical figured out. As we're walking off, when we had a 3:00 deadline, we couldn't work on the car past 3:00. So we had it buttoned up, put the tarp on it, and we hear a psst. He had a front tire going flat.
Oh no!
After they closed the tech line down where we can't work on them anymore. And then the next morning we get there, he had 2 front flat tires. We got the approval to fix them by the inspector, but not by the head official, by the head promoter. So Jimmy gets there late. We were in a hurry. He starts changing tires. We changed the tube and a rim.
He only brought 1 tire, so we had to recruit some guy to put a tube in a tire, like 14-ply forklift tire, on the ground with pry bars.
No way.
Yeah.
And they got her done, but in the meanwhile, the head man of Blizzard Bash was over there about ready to blow his cork.
Not
and
happy?
Yelling all sorts of
It doesn't take
bad
an
words.
hour to change a tire. I'm like, he had 2 flats. No, he didn't. Like, yeah, he did. And we had to put a tube in one because he only brought 1 tire. So, and Jimmy doesn't take criticism very well, so Jimmy about had to walk away. We got him calmed down. He came back, and he drove happy in the feature too. So
he drove happy.
That was our he was having so much bad luck all weekend. I just come up with Jimmy, what are we going to do? What? Drive happy. You can't go out there with a chip on your shoulder because the competition level's so great that you make one mistake, you're lucky to get out of it.
What goes through your head when you're out there starting with 3 cars? And did you notice pretty early that yeah. Okay. Did you notice pretty early that Nick got pinned in the corner there and ended up breaking his stick, and it was just you and Jimmy left, and there was a lot of cars left?
Yeah, right. I mean, I knew it right away. I pretty much know, even though I'm not where he's at, I know where he's at. And I went down there to get him out, and right about then they broke his stick. And because I made a mistake there and got down in the dirt myself. I mean, he got me out.
That was early. You got up on the bank. What was you thinking there when you were stuck? And there was a big pile of cars.
You can't say that on the radio either.
Well, I was ready. I mean, I was ready to be out of there by no means. But I knew I wasn't getting too excited because there were so many cars left that the clock couldn't have got started quite on time. So I was hoping somebody was coming down there to just bump somebody, and that's all I needed.
So now we're getting down to the end. Take us through when it's just 2 teams left. You and Jimmy are left, and 2 cars on the other team, and you guys are kind of like going one-on-one, and then Jimmy's front end ends up breaking, and now it's you against 2.
Well, Jimmy didn't have a steering for about half the feature, which it took me a little bit longer than that to figure out because he was doing such a good job of keeping it straight. At that point, I was sizing up the competition, not so much worrying about Jimmy. He was going to take care of his own. I mean, at that point, I knew he was driving to the end no matter what. And he was setting, even though his front end broke and went down, it was perfect because he was able to take out tires where the other guys were high. So I wasn't concerned about that as long as he could keep moving. But when I finally timed him out, I went down and spun him once to get him back in the mix, and I must have gotten his way too many times, and he couldn't make the contact. But when it got down to 2-on-1, those guys between Bobby Whitaker and Dustin Ingram probably have won $200,000, $300,000 worth of derbies in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Now, a couple
They're
of them
top
Bobby
notch.
stole from me. So, I've ran against Bobby plenty. I mean, we've been at the end. They're two of the best, and after this weekend, they're not that good.
What went on? You guys got hook bumpers there and couldn't go, and they told the crowd that they were going to declare the thing a tie, and they came down and started talking to you guys. What was the whole conversation? First, then they were going to flip a coin, and you was wanting pulled apart, I know, and so was the crowd.
I probably should have asked my team, but I did not come there to tie.
He showed us with his happy dance, like.
That goes back for multiple years. I've had the big shows in my hands and ripped away by stupid crap like that, and I went into first defense mode, and I knew the crowd was on my side, and I knew I had to get them involved, and they responded.
Like Sam in the drivers' meeting pretty much stated that you cannot just pin to win for the last two cars, So when he had when that Ingram and they hit together and he had him pinned, he may have thought he had it won, but that's not. Stamps specifically stated that in the rules that you can't pin to win. He should have been backing up. If he would have backed up like every 10 seconds or whatever and made a hit, it would have been different, but he can't just sit there and hold him to win, so Chad knew that, and that's why he wasn't too worried, which we're all worried because, it all goes down to what the official's going to think. But, I think that's how everyone wanted to see it end. I think everyone knew, as a driver, from a driver's standpoint, everyone knew that Ingram had lost his steering. But I'm worried because I knew his tranny was going out. So I'm like, when they announced, because it sucks. I'm watching from the stands, and they're like, well, one team wants to split and one doesn't. So I'm like, are we the team that wants to split or we are not? Because I'm like, either Chad's tranny went out and he doesn't want to split. Well, then I see him, to the crowd, pull them apart. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he wants them to pull them apart. And, and no matter what, the money's not a big deal. Because, we want a lot of money for that show, but what's money? It's going to go back into the cars. It doesn't matter. It's the win and the pride and everything like that. So just like he said, we don't want to split. That's like kissing your sister,
Oh, yeah, okay.
Not that I ever have.
Yeah, I know. I was just.
But, yeah, so, yeah, no way that we're not there to take second, at all.
Well, like I say, once again, congratulations on that big deal. Not only the team thing went down, but there was tons of other classes, and I got to give a shout out to they involved the little kids, Power Wheels stuff going on. You promote a lot of demos throughout the summer, and I know you've had the Power Wheels and the kids. Yeah, the kids kind of get involved.
Some of these race guys, kids in the derbies.
They bring their.
That way, they're not like their fathers. They're not afraid to rub on some stuff out there. Make it a little bit more exciting for people to watch the races.
All righty then, that works.
They all bring their Power Wheels. They send them through tech and get them inspected, just like the big cars. And some of the local people that you would know is, like they were talking, Cale Lagroon was there, Trey Zorn, Kaysen, which is Mark Zorn's son. Kaysen Zorn is Jeremy Zorn's, and Branston Jr., which is Branston Ardner's boy, and Daxton Hess, which is Buddy Hess's boy. So they were all involved in the Power Wheels demo along.
Hess kid, he's probably got the hardest road to go with his dad. He's probably going to need a lot of, his mom's probably going to have to watch over him.
You think so?
Nobody's business. With his dad,
he ain't got a chance, does he?
He don't pay much attention. He's got a big learning curve ahead of him.
Does he?
Yeah.
Gets it from his father, right?
Yeah, he's slow curve.
Yeah.
Slow.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be good, you know?
Yeah. And I'm going to get off of that subject for just a second. But I was texting with Branston here last night. I was trying to get Branston to come and talk and bring his boy.
Why didn't he?
He has to work on Tuesday nights, but he said he'd be listening. But he was all pumped when Saturday night they started playing some of the county fairs and stuff, and they were using some of his videos that he had taken.
He shoots some amazing stuff.
So
you know
yeah, I wanted to say, that's pretty cool to have Branston have his video played at the Blizzard Bash. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does a wonderful job, and he knows anytime he shows up to my Derby Beans, he's the video guy, and he's got a good following on YouTube and stuff. We try to treat him right. I mean, even though he used to run up and down the fence and cuss at me when I was winning, I still try to treat him right.
Yeah, I think everyone out there loves his videos and appreciates the heck out of them because, a lot of people don't have the people that show up in video for them, but
he's pretty dedicated about it. I mean, he's there every week.
Yeah, he is. And he's in all sorts of the motorsports.
That's what it's all
anything motorsports around here, he's going to show up and video it. So,
I haven't been to a Derby in a long time. I guess maybe I need to sneak over to one of your derbies.
Well, not much has changed. I mean, it's still just knock the windows out and go.
Is it?
Yeah, and throw like $20,000.
You got a car? You got a car? Maybe you know what? Maybe that'd help me.
If you're going to sneak over to one, we got one coming up in May in Abilene.
Okay.
The Midwest Championship. We'd gladly have you sneak over there. Bob comes and sees us, but you won't. I've even got cold beverages and stuff. You know.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I'll be there. Yeah. May over Abilene.
Yeah.
Okay. Got a car I can drive? Parade lap. Have you seen what I can do with a race car in a parade lap?
I don't think you want to drive one of what's his name again?
Chad.
Ask Nate Janess. Chad put him in a car in Newton. He got hit by a girl and got taken out on the first hit.
He's the one-hit wonder.
One-hit wonder?
He's not very good at derbying.
He's not very good at derbying? No. He knows this too, right?
Yeah, I think he wants a retry.
He wants a retry, but he's not very good, huh?
Yeah, he wants to make it past
I tried to trade secrets, derbying to racing, but it hasn't worked for either one of us.
Tell them, what do you think the average car has in it at Blizzard Bash? This is going to baffle people because it's dumb. But, I mean, I bet average there's probably, 15 grand?
No way.
If you had to start from scratch to compete at the level we just won, 15 to 20,000.
In your car?
Yeah.
Are you married?
Yeah.
Does she know this?
No.
She does now.
How much of this stuff can you go, transfer over from car to car?
You can you reuse a lot. I mean,
you can transfer it from 1 year, but then usually it's outdated. I mean, it's faster than computer stuff. Like, we went and updated all our cradle stuff, and this year everyone's going 1 inch. So all the stuff we just built, those 1/2 inch, it's like, well, Samaya had to redo all our cradle and everything and make it stronger, and it's just crazy, I guess the fabrication and everything, and how much money. I mean, the one team that actually, their family, I think, owns a machine shop, like Songalewski and Brzezinski. I don't know which one owns the machine shop, but they have sheets on the dyno that he rolled into that arena with the Wicked car with 715 horsepower with 650 foot-pounds of torque. I mean, and then his teammate had 655 foot-pounds of horsepower and so much torque. I mean, it's just crazy.
Wow, that's
unbelievable. We try to stay
Chicken
with
has
more
about
longevity.
250, and I got about 150.
Okay, that's just to cover. Okay.
You guys got crates, huh?
Well, we're there till the end, not just for the, but it is pretty awesome.
So your car got abused up in the heat races. Is it totally destroyed? Is anything of it usable?
Yeah, we won't reuse it. we got that last heat was with the Utah guys.
Yeah,
and
I kept
everything.
looking for him, and he was down there just
He must have
surrounded
been
by all
waving
of
at
his
the crowd.
friends. And I was just waiting for him to get out of the way.
Yeah, okay. No, the Utah guys are, like around here we're pretty mild driving, but the Utah guys, if you ever watched that Kings of Crash show that was on they drive crazy. I mean, just clear across the arena, just head on. They don't care a bit. And that's pretty much how they drove that heat race, Usually you show someone your front end, they're not going to come clear across the arena head on because they're afraid that you're harder than they are and they're going to bend. They didn't care. I think I had 3 of them hit me head on and end up breaking the motor mount off, of the frame. Oh.
Okay, what's the deal with the snake? Do you not like snakes?
I think David Hasselhoff is going through a midlife crisis because he couldn't win a derby.
That's how he got the name Chicken? He don't like snakes?
He doesn't either.
He did. When he sees a snake, he does a worse dance than I did when they said they splitting us apart.
That was pretty good.
And that's your dad bringing the snake over here for you.
Yeah, David Hasselhoff.
But no, they and I don't know. I guess I'm too concentrated on what we got to do and where we're going to. That is the national champion. We got hats, O'Reilly hats that say national championship, team championship.
Congratulations,
national
guys.
championship.
It's the biggest derby in the world right now.
It is. Yeah, it's last year it was billed as the biggest and best derby in the world, and this year it'll probably surpass that. Well, I don't know how it does,
They sold
but
out the Expo Center.
Really?
They
Yeah,
turned
it was sold.
1,000 people away.
So if I wanted to go over there, I probably wouldn't have been let in.
well,
Pit pass, yeah.
Okay.
if you wanted to go, we'd probably put you in the trunk and get you in.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Works for me. I've been in the trunk before.
Chad, tell us a little bit about what was going on with the young man, Weston. What did he have? Some kind of a cancer or something? And
That was Jimmy. Jimmy brought that deal on board. Jimmy's our team. Jimmy Johnson out of Baldwin City's our team captain. I'm not so sure one of his boys don't have a little bit of epilepsy, if I'm saying that right.
Epilepsy.
Please,
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
what I'm trying to say. But I guess he's got a severe case of it. And I don't know how Jimmy and them got hooked up, but
He's from like Wellsville, which that's Nick's I think hometown, and they're right around Jimmy's area.
There's a video out on the kid, and he's went through plenty of surgeries for a young man.
Yeah, like he was having like seizures like every 2 minutes. I mean, it was crazy what that kid had to go through.
And I think they've got that calmed down. And
they figured out it was his diet. Like they have to measure out his diet into grams. And like I said, Jimmy knows a lot more about it than we do.
But that family needed some help for sure, and must have been some ties to a Derby family somewhere along the way, and no different than racing or anybody. I mean, when somebody's in trouble, we just all kind of do what we do.
a bunch of people raised a bunch of money for him, and one guy gave him his trophy, and Jimmy let him drive his car out under the
Jimmy should have gave him his trophy because he watched 2 rounds.
He should have drove for Jimmy in the feature. I'm just kidding.
He's going to be able to watch this,
That's good.
The kid? Yeah, I know.
He's been eating. He was sitting out there eating popcorn for 3 rounds.
Chad put a popcorn box on it for a joke for the second round, and then he had to eat it all.
How many cars showed up to this thing?
The total weekend, or the total weekend, there's probably well over 400 vehicles. It's bigger than Boone, Iowa.
Are you 400 cars? Really?
Yeah.
And I mean, in all the different classes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's all classes.
What class do you guys run in?
The national
team
team.
championship.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And
were the
there's-
other divisions that were there?
They had like 80s and newer modified, old iron modified, which you can weld more. You can have the cradles and everything. Then they have like an 80 stock, old iron stock. Then they have like stock compacts, and they have modified compacts.
There are about 10 classes. See, it's went the way of racing has. I mean, everything's progressed, and then those that couldn't afford to progress has stayed down, or those that couldn't compete at the X level came down, and then the new guys have starting to come up. So I mean, It's and it's going to do the same as racing. Our modified class is going to go backwards.
Then there's us idiots that can't really afford to do it, but get lucky and get her done.
We try to build all of our own stuff, so we get lucky once in a while.
How many derbies you guys compete in each year?
We ran quite a few this year. I mean, just because we had cars that lasted, we probably ran 6 or 7.
I think I ran 2.
Here, we might as well read it. Give it here. Thanks for the talk on the radio. Tell Chad I gave him advice, but he couldn't capitalize it.
Hey, happy wedding.
He's getting married.
Next week.
I don't have much to reply to that other than I never said I was a race car driver.
Hey, you got to use a microphone.
You did improve. I'm trying. You did improve in your race car this summer. I got to give you credit for that. You did a lot better job this year than you've had in the past. So
I don't know if you take that as a compliment or not.
Well, no, I just don't want to be in anybody else's way, and I want to be towards the front. And I might get one of these days.
Sure,
but I'm too patient.
Well, that's what he said. It doesn't make sense to me that anyone can be so patient when people are teeing off on your front wheels, and he stays so calm. But come the last 4 laps of an A feature, and he loses it and does something dumb in a race car.
What's he talking about? What'd you do?
I don't know.
Last 4 laps. What'd you do?
Well, I'm not talking about a specific incident, but
I get
he gets too anxious in a race car, and I don't see where he can't just, be calm in it the whole time. It is pretty funny, but props to Sugar Shay Meeks. I think helps him set up his car a lot, because I've seen him roll out to the track and he rolls it out of the trailer and that doesn't look right. The wheels are all offset. Well, maybe they're supposed to be like that. Well, I don't know. Well, I'll call Shane. My wheels are all screwed up, like they're supposed to be like that. That's how I set them up. Well, okay. And then he gets in and drives it.
It's not a derby car, right?
By no means.
And then there's nothing comparable, is there?
I still have a little bit more fun in the old dirt arena going into a square circle than a round circle.
The benefit about that is if someone blasts you and tears up all your stuff, you can go clear across the arena and blast them and pay them back.
Same thing on the racetrack.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we've seen that. Joey Logano and Matt Kenseth did that. Yeah, it works. Yep. Change my tires.
It's just I can weld plate on a race car too.
That's extra weight.
I don't think it matters.
Speaking of all this, how many years you been racing now?
I'm trying to forget, but 5 or so.
Well, I remember the year prior to when you started, because Shane was out in Hayes, and you went out there and you were helping him, and he got his front end all tore up. And normal circle track guys don't carry 25-pound sledgehammers and big old pry bars and stuff like this. So out comes the big sledgehammer and the pry bars, and they got Shane back on the track. And I told Chad, I said, it'll be fun to watch when you get a race car and come over and watch you work on your car. And sure
we
enough,
did straighten it and get it on the track.
You did a fine job
with a big sledgehammer and
the frame was a little bent.
That would stop most race car guys.
There's no reason for that. There's just metal.
Yeah.
Out in Hayes, right?
Your family, brothers, cousins, how many you guys have been derbying for ever? And I'm going to go back to when I used to go to the big demo derby in Abilene. Boy, everybody'd go over there and they would boo the Markleys. And I was just telling my wife the other day and she booed you too. And I said, you're exactly like me. You booed the guy and you didn't even know him. And once I got to know you, and found out what kind of a great guy you are.
I didn't mean any harm by winning. I just got luckier than the rest.
Yeah, but you guys, your whole family has been good at derbying for a long time.
That's where the mistake comes in. The Abilene Derby started in 1974. Just coincidentally, that was the year I was born, so I don't know if that was an omen or what. But we lost for a lot of years. And finally, I was sitting in the stands when I was 15 or 16 watching two of my brothers. Yeah, probably. Watching a couple of my brothers run and looking at them, and their cars were just going junk. They were just driving like idiots. And I'm like, there's really no need for that. I'm watching the guys that are winning, and some guys out of Concordia dominated back then, old Pete Beaumont and Ben Budrow. Pete Beaumont used to be a hell of a derbier in his day. We had a few battles. He'll be glad to tell you about him. I probably shouldn't tell you about him on the radio. But he was a good derbier in his day, too. And, I started looking like, well, I think I'm going to change some things when I get out there. And it was kind of downhill from there.
And I don't want to admit to him, that's pretty much how I, got into it. I'd watch my dad. He'd run like the county fair every year, and these were the guys winning. So me, I guess the competitiveness, don't tell him, but I'd study the tapes and watch how he drove, watch all that, and that's pretty much, I was seeing what the people that were winning were doing, and it kind of helped me out. Don't tell him, though.
On a circle track, I know you guys are going around there, you're studying the car in front of you, you're knowing, kind of when they're braking and when they're turning, and you're watching the car in front of them. Is it kind of the same way in the demo? Are you out there looking at some of the other cars on some of the damage they got and aiming for stuff?
There's a lot of funny stories about that with me, because I can smell a bent spot in a car, and if I know it's weak, I'm looking for it. And a friend of mine, Winslow Goodwin in Abilene, we battled with each other for years, but we've always remained friends. And he had his chance to win Slina, and I drove. It was down to me and him, and I just kind of drove by driver's door to driver's door with my head hanging out, kind of looking down at the corner that wasn't bent. And he said, I got so nervous about that, I protected that corner, and then you just totally destroyed the back of it. I said, yeah, I know, that was the part that was bent.
And that's, I guess with me, I've watched him enough to know, like, something, like, just as simple. I shouldn't tell this because all the people that we run against are going to now know. Yeah, no. Simpler than that. You don't know how many people will go clear across the arena and hit someone square in the doors. And you'll see their front end rear up, and they didn't tear up anything on your car. Well, that's when I first started learning, like, well, why is he pulling his doors and letting people hit him? Oh, because it's not hurting him and it's rearing their cars. Well, we almost laugh as derbiers if some guy will go clear across the arena. We get our doors pulled because you can just see their front end go completely up. And we're like, well, you didn't hurt me. We're doing that on purpose. I think people are catching more on, but, that's just when I very first started. Yeah, Mormon.
Yeah. All right, so you guys have hand signals, too, when you're out there?
Yeah, goodbye.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Depends what you're talking about.
No, like Mayhem, like, he's the first person that actually he'll notch the back of a round back wagon to get to roll up. So we'd sit there, and that's a big key in a big show like that, to get the back to start rolling. So, like, he'd look over to Casey or me or whoever, and we'd be like, tap on one shoulder, you need to get it rolling, to use that corner, get it coming up, because you want to set it all up. And then once you get all set up, then you can run the heat. But until then, because if you take one bad shot, that frame's going to go down, and it's going to be a lot harder to fix for the features. So there's a lot more into, like, the big, long shows. And team shows is pretty much just hammer down. But, like, when you used to run Mayhem, you got to get everything set up.
Says the man that didn't make the feature.
I had to watch them last year in the C feature because
feature. We won the B feature.
Okay, the B feature, because I broke an engine block last year, and I had to watch him and Jimmy go out and take care of business in that. And I know how hard it is to sit there, because actually it was tougher watching that derby than it was running, because I could hardly sit down, and in a car, I can fall asleep in a car.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, feel most comfortable in the car no matter what's going on.
Hey, just out of curiosity, just because I don't know, I haven't been around it in forever. What do you guys run for a seat in your Derby cars? Do you have a special seat you put
You
on?
wouldn't want to see my seat. Ask Maya about my seat. He's skinnier than I am, and metal came up, and he couldn't walk for a week. But just a normal old seat, I guess.
Like what?
There's guys that try to run racing seats. That we did that 20 years ago, and
Does it hurt?
It's not good on your back.
It hurts more.
I run a 2000 cop car seat.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Why?
They're designed for guys that eat donuts.
Okay.
And it has a pocket in the front for his water bottle.
Yeah, and it's got a pocket for my water bottle.
Are you serious?
I carry water.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I'm cool and collected out there.
But you must have got hit hard enough to lose your water bottle Sunday afternoon, because you was searching for it, wasn't you?
You see me get panicked when I couldn't find my water? Yeah. That's when I got panicked. I couldn't find
His
my water
water
bottle.
broke.
Really?
Yeah.
His water broke. There they are with the snake again.
Yeah, I enjoy my sip of water.
Really?
Which I think one of the greatest stories of all time was Farmville. Derek Funk helps us out a ton. One of the Blizzard Bash that we ran with them, we were on a different team than Chad. Like, he sat there, like it was down to him and like one other car. He didn't have any steering. He sat there, pushed the car up against the bank, stopped, took the cap off his water, drank it, and then backed up and pushed his car up into the corner and won the feature. Like, it's just classic. I don't know how you could ever top that.
Go ahead, take the microphone, Bob.
Nate just said those were your donuts that were in the pocket of the front of the seat.
Got you speechless? He's grinning and speechless
That was
both.
his donuts he was looking for.
It was your speeding ticket I was looking for a slow-moving vehicle.
Hi.
Can we talk about Ashley and her check?
Sure. Tell a story.
I'll tell it so Chicken don't get in trouble.
Go ahead.
I don't have to live with her. Well, apparently, in case they wonder how much this Derby paid. It paid $20,000 to win this team show. I don't know that there's many races around to pay $20,000, but
Right.
It was a good payday.
Right.
Well, they gave us our big Happy Gilmore checks. Well, Chicken gets home and tells Ashy that, I think I'll just make a fan shroud out of my check on my Derby car. Because, unlike racing, if something moves or something, we want our fan shrouds just to chew up and get the hell out of the way, not
It's made out of like the
coroplast.
Right.
So she's like, well, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. And Chicken's like, well, why not? And she's like, well, I don't think the banks will give you them checks back once you cash them.
true story.
Sorry, Ashy.
I start laughing and I'm sorry, but I'm like, do you think that's the real check? Well, yeah. I thought that too once when I was 12, but
So his new name's Happy Montgomery.
Happy Montgomery.
poor
Happy
Ashy. Well, at least we're probably not getting married now.
When is that date, by the way?
You got a date on that?
Yeah,
Chicken?
you got a date on that?
Yeah, May 28th. Everyone's invited.
Oh, there's a Derby that day.
We scheduled around Capital Carnage because that's the $30,000 to win Derby.
So it's May 28th.
I think. Is our wedding May 28th?
Nod your head, yes.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, we didn't name that
next
yet.
year, I guess.
Next year.
Oh, yeah, it's a leap year.
I found that out. Yeah, it is a leap year. Bob, anything else?
How you doing, Bob?
Good.
I knew this was going to be this way. That's great. I love it.
Let's let's kind of wrap this up by, I know you got a lot of people over here to thank for helping on the car and stuff. And are you in trouble? Oh. So, and Chad's got some people, so let's kind of do that right now.
On my side, I'd have to thank the most Jeremiah Faulkner. He's the one that builds all our stuff. He's the one that helps me probably just as much, if not more, than me on all the cars. Then I got my mom. She's out there making us meals. Then comes the rest. Ashy, she hadn't helped as much on this car, but she says because she's been taking care of stuff at home, so I'll let her off on that.
It's because they combined houses.
Yeah, well, hey, anyone needs a house? I have one. 215 West Jewel, right by Bogey's. Come see me. I'll make you a deal. Jesse Levine, he came down. He drove an hour he drove down to Topeka, helped us get the car ready, then drove home. I was like, "You're leaving? I thought you're coming to stay." So, their parents, my dad, Chuck Northup builds our trannies. Preston Usher helps us out on getting us some power steering lines. We have Casey, Shane, Kansas Gas. Shane, he helps us out quite a bit. Richard, Terry Faulkner, he took some days off from his rodeo life and came out and helped us. He has the skidster, Robert that we take everywhere. Let's see. Bobby even came by and
I know, Bobby. We did last Tuesday. He said he's going to go help you. I was like, are you kidding me?
He said
did you set the front end up or something?
He came over because he was so used to setting stuff up on a rough track that we figured he'd be a shoe-in.
Yeah, there you go.
But as far as sponsors, I got Crane Rental. They helped me out a ton. Central Kansas Salvage, I got Klein Oil, Big Jim Klein out of Delphus. He hooks me up with tires and stuff like that. All the Klein boys help a ton. Who am I forgetting? My mom? Damn it. I said again.
Mr. Um's been involved a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I did a thank you deal on Facebook so I wouldn't forget anyone. And I still was wondering, I'm going to forget one person that's going to think I'm a total a-hole. But I think I got it all.
Yeah, they know we got you on the spot.
I didn't because you're out driving happy while I'm getting my stuff destroyed, so I didn't think you needed to thank you.
Well, I'll start off by thanking Chicken for being the decoy out there. He's done a hell of a job at that.
I wish my mom would have brought the video because you could have seen it because I'm like, and you're like, hey, guys, you want to hit me too?
Well, I've been the decoy once or twice, and it's not so much fun. So, but my nephew Casey, ton of work. Todd Holt, probably hadn't seen his wife for a month. So both of them. Actually, I think he said she was happy that he was gone that long. Levi, I mean, the shop, there's always somebody stopping by. We're either having to run off or put to work. And if they don't want to work, they get ran off. So it's endless. We advanced the engine I had a broken block, and they got it right in and got it out for me. They do great work. A couple of my sponsors, the Rib Crib, come aboard with us with CDA, and also Coors Light, the official beer of CDDA, and all of my fair shows. I mean, it's all part. Solomon Valley Raceway walked up and handed me $100 while I was standing there. We do a couple shows up there, and them are great guys to work with, and they put a hell of a race on. That midget race is a hell of a race, and we enjoy working with them guys. So just endless amount of my wife for being able not to see me for months on end just because I got bad habits and
that's why you get along so well
and a hobby and you know she was just as pumped as I was when we pulled the win off.
I'm not gonna say it, but it was a pretty emotional win for Mr. Mad Bobley. He had some tears about coming to your eyes, didn't you? It was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty prestigious. Congratulations,
that's how
guys,
much
by
it
the
means
way.
to us. I mean, like I say, it's like a super national win. I mean, this is the Derby big win, you know. That's how much it means to us.
Whether it was we was luckier than the other guys or what, we got the check and the trophy, and
yeah, and that's a monster trophy, by the way. Isn't it pretty tall?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
The big checks that you get your fiancés to take to the bank are the best part, though.
That's the best part?
If we could have videoed her taking it to the bank, it would have
been. Guys, congratulations. I know this is a big deal. That's a big win for you. You guys have done this for several years. Congratulations. That's a good job.
You got, I know you got the big one coming up, the $30,000 to win. You guys going to both have cars in that?
My entry fee's in. We'll see what they do with the rules. I got to talk him into running too, but
I'm going to be there.
You can't really pass it up. I mean, how many times you can say you can do what you think you're good at for $30,000 payday?
I feel like we're in the top 15% of our sport, and we got as good a chance of anybody.
And how many cars are they going to allow for this?
100 car max.
Well, 100 cars, they're going to have like 10 heats, take 2 out of the heat, which is pretty good odds. I mean, and that's more our driving style. You know, this team stuff is more fast-paced, and we can do it, but we're, just how we run, we're better to pick people's weaknesses apart, pick their cars apart, and run this style of show. So I'm hoping that someone from around the area will come home with that big check.
So you guys come down to the final 2 between you two. Who's going to win?
Well, he probably will because he's got a spoiler. I don't have a spoiler yet.
If that's what it takes. I can tell you this. We'll shake hands when it's over, and we'll have fun.
Yeah. It pays $8,000 per second, though. Can you, any of you listening, imagine breaking your stick for that? Like go from $30,000 to you break that stick, you get $8,000. That'd be a rough thing to take. But it's not about the money; it's just about the pride. But the money sure would help.
Bobby, what do you think? Good job tonight.
Thanks.
Congratulations, guys, really. Thanks for coming down.
I knew these guys would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Drive happy.
Drive happy.
Well, I'll try that. Can I try that next year for me? You think I could drive happy?
We can. And we're working on a commemorative shirt through Hill Job Graphics, National Championship Team Kansas shirt.
Okay,
so
cool. Let me know when you get some because I'll buy you one.
They're coming.
Okay.
They're coming.
Congratulations, guys. Really. Thanks for coming down tonight. Really appreciate it.
Are we going to do this again in 2 weeks? Then?
2 weeks. We'll have another show. Not next week. It's too much in the Thanksgiving thing.
Yeah,
so
I want to wish everybody a happy
Thanksgiving for us here at RaceTalk Live Online. And
our guests, so we're set up right now, is going to be Chris and Austin Allen and Bo Davis from Wichita. They're going to make the trip over.
Make the trip on up here.
Austin was the track champion at Dodge City Raceway, and so we'll visit with them. They're going to be headed to the IMCA banquet over the holidays, and so
we got Thanksgiving and then the banquet.
We'll be talking about that too. Yeah. So
okay, and by then
everybody tune in.
By then NASCAR will have a champion. We can discuss that and see if it was the right person or not.
Yep, it'll be Harvick.
And then Bobby's got a cheat sheet there. It's Harvick and
Gordon, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex. Who's good? You think?
I think it's going to be Truex. I think from this point,
on a win.
I think at this point it's going to be Truex. I'm going to go out on a limb.
I'd love to see Truex, but I bet it's going to be Gordon.
Big thanks to
if you're Hendrick, wouldn't you put all your eggs in his basket?
Well, sure.
I have Chad Knaus over on his pit box.
Would you really?
I would. Chad Knaus is best.
Well, we'll see what happens next week at Homestead.
I'll call him.
You call him and make sure it happens.
So if Chad ends up in Gordon's pit box, Chicken's got some pull.
Chicken's got some more pull than we ever thought, doesn't he? Big thanks to David Cheveria for putting this thing together for us. Flatlands Media produces this for us. Does a great job. We're looking for sponsors for this thing. We're going to get some. We got some interest, so I'll be on the phone to some of those guys next week. Get this thing hammered out. We're going to do this all winter. Looks like Rusty loves having it here.
You got to thank Rusty for having us.
Yeah, right here at Chuck's Bar. I didn't get that in earlier. And if you can see us or hear us or listen to us, you're more than welcome to come down and join us any Tuesday night that we're here. So Bobby does a good job of putting this thing together. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. For Bobby Potts, Bill Grid saying so long. Thanks for listening here to Race Talk Live online. See you in 2 weeks.